Hello, girls. How are you all? Welcome to my economics class. So, today we shall be starting with the new chapter, chapter number 5, Human Capital Formation. So, today's chapter we are going to learn what you mean by human resources. What do you understand by the concept? What are human capital resources? What are the sources of it? All right. So, previously, in the previous chapter, we studied about poverty. The main reason for poverty is overpopulation. So, now that we all know that India is overpopulated, we should also be happy, and on the other hand, that we have the largest human resource, isn't it? So, with the power of people, a nation can do anything. Only thing the nation has to do is put those human resources in proper use. If the resources that is available is being utilized properly, anything can be attained. All right. With this note, we shall move on to the next slide. Human resource. Human resources are the people who make up the workforce of an organization or economy. Whatever you have, for example, you have started an organization, let it be a small organization, you need some people to run that, isn't it? Now we have a huge college, St. Charles College. Charles College is running without any human resource. We are all working, right? Because of all the staff, all the faculty, all the office people, and without you all, without the students, do you think the college can run? No, I mean, function, I mean to say, okay? None of the organization or factory or an industry cannot function without the manufacturer, without the receiver, without the seller, without the distributor. For all this, all the seller, manufacturer, distributor, all comprises of human resource. According to Professor Whippy, a nation's true wealth is neither in its land and water, nor in forest and mines, nor in its flock and herds, nor in its dollars or rupees, but in its wealthy and happy men, women, and children. So, this is how a nation has been described. If the people of the country, of the nation, is happy, wealthy, and healthy, that comprises of a very good and positive economy. The development of human resource means increase in quality of human beings, which helps in the process of growth and development of the economy. So always an economy should work on its development of the human resource. How the human resource can be improved, in what areas they need some support to growth. All this should be taken care by the government. All right. So if you need to see a developed economy, the growth of an economy, then the available human resource should be skilled, should be utilized. They should be resourceful. They should not just be stagnant. They should not be just for the sake of being. They have to be employed in one or the other way, so that there is some outcome out of them. All right, moving on to the next slide. Physical capital and human capital. Now this is something that you all need to know the difference. The physical capital, what do you mean by physical capital and what do you mean by human capital? Physical capital, it includes all those inputs which are required for further production. You all know it could be machinery, it could be huge plants, it could be huge trucks. You can see the picture. So, physical capital is something that you are implementing. I hope you have all studied in business studies. What do you mean by physical capital? You remember? Yes. Okay. Physical capital is something that is utilized to produce the actual product. Okay. It is needed to make use of physical resources. Okay. Whatever resources that is available, we need to make use of it. To make use of that resources, you need a physical capital. This physical capital is helping us to make use of the resources that is being available. The ownership of the physical capital is the outcome of conscious decision of the owner. So, what a person is going to own, what is he going to give the outcome from the physical capital is the decision done by the owner of that particular physical capital. For example, I have a sewing machine. That is my physical capital. Is that my physical capital or no? Yes, that is my physical capital. Now, what am I going to make use of it? Simply, I will keep that in one corner in my house and I'll do the puja. No, right? If at all my dress or something is, I have some stitches that is being loosened, then what am I going to do? Do I run to the tailor? Though I have a machine at home, do you think I'm wise enough to do that? If at all if I do that, I am a fool. But I have a physical capital. I am going to make use of this physical capital by putting in some threads into the needles and just sewing it. Isn't it? So that is about the physical capital. Likewise, a factory or a big huge industry, what are they doing? They are making use of the physical capital with the available physical resources. Okay? And producing, what are they producing? That matters. So, a particular owner or the one who owns the physical capital will decide what is he going to bring an outcome as. Alright. Now, moving on to the next slide, we shall see what you mean by human capital. Who are humans? We are all humans. We are humans, right? Or are we aliens? Animals? Are you sure we are all humans? Yes, we are all humans because we are the only beings on the earth who can talk, speak, and express our feelings. So, we are humans. It refers to the stock of skills, ability, expertise, education, and knowledge embodied in the people. Girls, have you seen an elephant going to school or a college? Have you seen a giraffe wearing a uniform? Or have you seen a donkey stitching a cloth? No, right? So those are animals. Okay, how about a fish teaching a swimming class? Do you think so? This can happen? No, this cannot happen because we are unique. We are unique beings on this planet that we are being blessed with all the skills, all the abilities, and the education that we perceive, we receive. Right? So these are something which are unique in us. No other being on this earth can be like us. Right? So that is the reason why humans are called as human capital. Because we have the ability to perform a particular work, a skilled work, a work which is unique. Alright? It is needed to make effective use of physical capital. Now, I am a teacher. Okay, I did my double graduation and I did my another graduation to support my this 2 degrees, and I'm sitting idle at home. Do you think I'm doing the right for myself? It is not right because I have the resource in me. If I do not put my resource to the proper use, then what is the whole point of my this entire years of dedication of studies? It's all gone in vain, isn't it? So always, whatever you are good at, you should always make sure that you utilize that in the right way. That is called as human capital. So it is always needed to make Effective use. Effective, remember this. Not simply, not just for time pass, somebody will do something, no, some kind of job, a jobless job. Please, not like that. Something which is useful, something which is effective, something that is going to bring a very good positive output. Okay, that is called that particular person using the effective use of the physical capital. Whatever, for example, I'm good at writing. If I simply keep saying I'm good at writing, do you think you all will believe? No, nobody will believe. I should show them. So what is the physical capital that I'll be using? I'll be using book, I'll be using a pen. Without that, how can I show people that yes, I am good at writing? I need to show them with something, right? So I need to use a human capital should make use of the physical capital to bring out a proper outcome. If they do not use it, then there is no point of having these two capitals, right? So we need good human capital to produce other human capitals. What is this good human capital? First human capital. There are some people, for example, now you are all my students and I am your teacher. Girls, you may not know what is inside you. You might become a great big chartered accountant of India. You might become a big lawyer. You might become a big entrepreneur, best woman entrepreneur in this country. You might outstand. You don't know what are the qualities in you. If I do not stand by as a teacher and say you, girls, do this, you can do it, there is a person inside you. If I do not motivate you in the right time with the right thoughts, how will you even realize there is something inside you? That is how there are so many people who have come out with vibrant colors. Now, professionals, how are they doctors? How are they engineers? Any Tom, Dick and Harry can become engineer? Do you think so? Anyone can study engineering. Anyone can study MBBS. But being a proper professional, it is incompatible. You need to excel your position. You need to understand how you are performing your work, how you are understanding the work. You need to practice for various years. For example, to be the best doctor, I will complete my MBBS. Nowadays, just MBBS doesn't carry any value. You need to do further degrees. Say it be MD, say it be any other diplomas in doctorate. There are so many things that you need to attain. So, when you excel in all those, and you should keep on practicing, you should keep on understanding, studying different types of patients, what are the problems. Likewise, a lawyer. A lawyer can attain his excellence by understanding various cases. All the case will not be same. All the characters will not be in all the cases. Same old characters. Right? Every time there will be a different case, there will be a different situation, there will be an opposition party who will be stronger than you. You need to counterpart. There are so many strategies that you need to take part, right? So, a human capital, we need good human capital. What do you mean by this good human capital? There should be a good thinker who will think of what the future need might be. For tomorrow's generation, we need more number of doctors. Now do you see India faced so much of problem during this COVID situation that we lacked lot of doctors. There were very less number of doctors available to treat the patients. It was like 30 is to 100. 30 doctors and 100 patients. Do you think 30 doctors could treat them? It was not possible because half of the doctors felt sick initially. They didn't know how to take care of themselves. So, if you think as a good individual, as a good citizen of a country, you need to foresee that our world needs more number of doctors. Okay, likewise there are so many places, there are so many sectors which require different kinds of people, skilled people or unskilled people. There are so many things. It's not like olden generation where our parents will say, you need to just study doctor, or what is that, you become a clerk in bank. Do you hear parents talking like that? No, now we have various openings. We have fashion designing, we have information technology, we have technical drawings, we have technical writing. There are so many things. Girls, there are so many jobs that I haven't heard, and people are excelling in it. How is that possible? That is possible because the economy or the world is creating that kind of job, and the world is creating that kind of people. When there is a creation of job, likewise simultaneously there will be a creation of employment opportunity. When there is a creation of employment opportunity, when the world is requiring more number of people to work for one particular work, there will be an education facility or a platform which will be built in a short while, wherein people will start enrolling themselves to study that particular skill, right? Now, good human capital are those who foresee the future, who think what might be needed by our country. According to that, they need to produce, they need to seed. For example, I need mango tree. I need nice juicy mangoes. Will I go and sow jackfruit there? I will sow mangoes, isn't it? This likewise, if I need more number of doctors, I need to, start implementing. I need to give opportunities for more number of people. More number of seats should be allowed for poor students to join in the doctor, education. So this is how a government will implement various strategies for the upcoming future, for a better human capital resource. All right, moving on to the next. How are we going to form human capital formation? It refers to development of the abilities and skills among the population of the country. As I've told you, it becomes an idea. It becomes a job of any particular person to identify the various skills among different population. Okay, it is the process of acquiring and increasing the skilled population. So how do we form the best and better human capital is that we keep thinking, okay, this particular skilled people, we need more in number. What do? We focus more on them, we multiply, we ask them to improve. The next level of people, whoever come, we'll ask them to get into the same lane. We improve. There are certain colleges you should have seen. There are some subjects which are being taken off. Girls, when I studied my first PU, way about 15 years back, it was like, I didn't study what you studied. It was something else that I studied. So it is like lot of changes. They have deleted various things, they have added most of the things. The subjects are different, the chapters are different, the focus is on the different subjects are like with different chapters, which are actually on the present day scenario, on the present situation. They have created the education system. So this is how the present generation people are being brought up. They will be induced with the present scenario, and which is going to happen in further 10 to 15 years future years. So this is the prime focus that any educational institution will think of. So for the next coming up to 20 years from now, this will be the situation. Pandemic will be the situation. How people will have to take care of themselves. What are the various how do you say, cleansing yourself, how to keep yourself clean, how to keep yourself sanitized all the time, how to keep your surroundings clean. So this becomes the next level of focus. Likewise, if you want to create a particular group of people for your better economy, you will focus on that, and you will invest on that kind of skilled people to multiply them. All right, moving on to the next slide, sources of human capital. Now, we all understood how they form human capital. Now, sources means what? From where do they get the human capital? How do they get human capital? All right, so you all know, did you all understand what do you mean by human capital? Human capital are nothing but the set of people with a certain skill. Okay, for example, in a school or in a college, what type of people you need as human capital? You will either need accountant, a clerk, then you will need a technician, you will need then what? Only then? What about teachers? You will need them, right? You will need principal, right? You will need a watchman. So they are all human capital. With them, it comprises the school or college? No, the major human capital is students. So all of them include and conclude a human capital. Now, the first point being the source of human capital formation is expenditure on education. So, when you're sourcing human capital, how are you managing? Skills of an educated person is more useful than an uneducated person. As I've always told you, an educated person is being respected in a different way, and an uneducated person is respected in a different way. And the skills what a educated person and an uneducated person differs widely. All right, education increases the earning capacity of a person. We have already studied this in the previous chapter called poverty, where the income inequalities in income is major reason is this. If you are uneducated, you will not be able to reach the heights of an educated person. Always remember, an educated person is always paid higher compared to an uneducated person. Okay? Gives better social standing and pride. So, an educated person, if he comes in a crowd of uneducated people, how will the respect towards that person? Can you imagine? You, for example, you have reached a level of double masters in your education, and you enter your family who thought that you will not pass your second pu. Okay, you have met this family after a very long time, maybe say 10 years, and you enter with a very good job, and the way you have dressed and the face, the attitude that you have. What happens? People will look up to you, right? Wow, congrats. Oh, I never expected that you will reach to this heights. I never thought you can achieve this level. And there are some people who will envy you, right? They'll be jealous of you. Oh, how come this girl? I thought she's going to flunk. How come she did this? Don't you think so? So that is the way people think when an educated person comes. Always an educated person will be respected in the society. So investment in education is very, very important. Remember, never think studying is waste of time. Please, never ever think. Don't be a bookworm, but be a geek. Be a smart child. You need to be a smart worker, not a hard worker. Present generation needs a smart worker. If you say, I will be a hard worker and study till 6 o'clock in the morning, and when you go to the exam, do you think you will remember everything? Nothing. Rather, be a smart worker. Every day you sit and study 1 hour. How smart it is, isn't it? During exam, you need to sit and study up till 6 o'clock in the morning. Right? So, that is the reason. Always make use of the time that is being given to you. So, that is one of the sources of human capital. Expenditure on education. The more you spend, the more you expend on your education, there will be a lot of human capital created. All right, moving on to the next. Expenditure on health. Increases supply of health labor force. Sick labor is compelled to abuse from work, which leads to loss of productivity. You all know, right? If you do not take care of your health on a right time, there will be lot of issues. There are so many people who do not immediately go to a doctor when they're sick, and it might lead to so many complications. They think that I can just, take some medicines at home, I can medicate myself, and everything will be all right. But you never know how things might complicate. Rather, when you think things are not in your control, please make sure that you visit a doctor. You invest some money to the doctor to make sure that everything is all right. So when you do so, you will be all right. You will not be sick and you will have a good productivity. You will go back to your work, you will work efficiently and you will earn well. So that is the major reason of expenditure on health. Adequate health facilities leads to qualitative improvements in the human capital. So for this reason, there should be more number of hospitals, more number of doctors, more number of nurses. When there is adequate amount of healthcare available in an economy, in a nation, then what happens? When people fall sick, they go to these healthcare and get treated. And when they get treated, in return, what happens? They become all right and they get back to their work and they work efficiently. The human capital is retained. So this is one of the sources. All right. Moving on to the next point. On the job training. We all know on the job training is this happens either when you join the job initially or in between, wherein you will have to learn new skills in the particular job to upgrade yourself. We all upgrade our phones, right? Once in probably 3 months or whenever the update is required. So what do we do? You remember when when you say yes, upgrade, install, what happens? It takes a long time, right? It takes almost 1 hour or 40 minutes sometimes to install. What is that it is doing? It is upgrading itself. Likewise, when a human has to upgrade his skills, he'll have to implement himself into a certain job training. What are those? It increases skills and efficiency of the workers. So, this on the job training, any training will always make sure that it is giving some kind of efficiency or skills for us to perform in a better way. Workers may be trained in the firms itself or may be sent for off-campus training. So there are situations where people or wherever, whichever organization, they will be asked to, the trainees might come down to the particular institute and they might train them, or they will have to go to a particular institute away from actual place where they work and they will have to get trained. So these are two possibilities that could happen. Sometimes it could be in the same city or sometimes it could be in different city. So even the places also might vary. So this results in enhanced labor productivity. Why training happens? So that the productivity is increased, is boosted. Alright. This is about on the job training. So these are the points, girls, which is giving us a better human capital. So how to produce better human capital are the sources of human capital formation. So these are the ways how human capital is being produced. Alright, human capital is something which is in a good manner, which is a good quality. Not just some person is being given training. No, already they know, okay, you're a good person. With a little more effective training, you will be performing in a better way. That is the actual motive of this lesson. Alright. So next point is expenditure on migration. We all know your cousins or your dad or your uncle, they would have moved from one place to another place for the purpose of job, right? So unemployed people migrate from rural to urban areas. Now, there are some people, I do not have job. Now what do I do? I'm not getting any chances to work in this particular city. Then one of my other neighbor will come and say, hey, there is one opportunity, there is one new company that's starting. They're asking for degree holders. Why don't you join? Why don't you apply? You might get a chance. So what will I do? I will apply, and in case if I strike the interview, I will migrate from this place to that city, right? So this is about migration. So you all know migration, moving from one place to another place, involves certain amount. There could be transportation, which is higher cost of living in the migrated places. Now there are so many people who lose job in India and they think Dubai is a very good country, they can go and settle down there. But they don't realize Dubai's standard of living is higher compared to our country. Do you agree or no? Any country for that matter? Of course, India is cheap with less salary. But if you are earning in dollars and trying to live in India, that's a cheap, India is very reasonable. Likewise, people think, living in different countries are, it gives them a great standard of living, and they migrate, they move out of a country, and it becomes a big struggle for them to settle down in a new place, and how to settle, how to adjust to the new environment. Some places people who go, it could be very extreme cold, some places could be extreme hot, so the weather conditions they need to adjust. For example, if a person goes to a very cold place, he'll have to start buying more warmer clothes, which again he'll have to spend more from his pocket to buy them, and he'll have to invest on the heaters, he'll have to invest on a good house, he'll have to buy food according to that particular situation. Sometimes he might be having family who do not have anybody. They will have to follow quietly with him. Then what do they do? They'll have to take their family. Again, the burden of the family. Then what else? One income can they support in a different country? It becomes impossible. And sometimes, yes, people are there who still survive in different countries with their entire family and they're still doing good. But for few people who are separated from, parents are in different country, children are in different country with grandparents, I know a few of you could be like that. It becomes a big challenge. So one of my example I would like to tell is, I think it is about 5 6 years back. I and my children were in Bangalore, and my husband was in a different country, and it was a very difficult task for all of us. It was like, family get together was very less. We hardly met each other. It used to be only the phone conversation or the video call, and children started to miss the father, and this started to develop as the years went. And now we realize that no, this is not going to happen. All of us should stay together. So when my husband migrated to a different country, these were the challenges that I faced. So this is one of the example that I would like to give you. For human capital, when a person moves to a different country, what are the criterias people face? So it is always understood that there is some particular some percentage of cost that you'll have to give in for migrating from one place to another. Let it be from country to country or from place to place. All right, moving on to the next point is expenditure on information. So we all know, for example, now you all want to be better students, so you are all one form of human capital. Now what are you all expending for being better students? You are expending on internet, you are paying certain amount for internet, isn't it? That is information that I am passing through this medium, right? Now I am communicating with you people through internet. So when I send you the information, you download that or you watch it. When you watch that, you there is certain cost that is being incurred by you and me, isn't it? So that is the expenditure on information. So now I, being a good human capital, I am wanting you all to be a good human capital. So this is the medium where I am sourcing for you all to be a good human capital. I am creating good human capital by sending the information. And what are you all doing? You are spending certain amount on the information that is passed on by me. Alright, this is a very clear example for this particular point. Please understand. Expenditure incurred to acquire information about labor market and other markets. So this, whatever I gave you example, was about the general, so that you can understand, you can catch what I'm trying to tell you. Okay. Now when you actually talk about the nation or the market, okay, a human capital, for example, a person is running an organization. He has a clothing market. He wants to know the latest market trends, what is happening. Let me do something new. To do something new, he should be skilled. Yes, he is skilled, but he needs to get the information. For that, he needs to spend. To learn what is happening in the market, he needs to get the information. For getting the information, he will have to spend certain amount of money to know the market prices, or to know the latest market designs, or to know the new customers. So these are the expenditures done on an information. So the amount spent to acquire information about educational institutions, their educational standards and cost of education. So when it comes to education, as I gave you example, you will all know, when you wanted to join for the new college after passing out your SSLC or your 10th standard, what did you all do? Didn't you all? Now there was a lockdown. You were all not. You were all unable to walk out of the houses. So internet wasn't handy. So to get the particular information, you had to spend certain amount on the internet data, right? So you got the information through the internet, and on that basis you found out which are the colleges with so and so education, which is close by, which is according to my budget. So these were all the various aspects that you try to get in as information through various medium, isn't it? There were newspapers available and there were internet. Apart from that, were you all able to go out of your houses? No. So these were the things that you could invest on and get the information. Understood, girls? So these are something which is very essential for a person to be a better person. Girls, I'll give you one simple what to say an example again. Okay, during our generation, you can talk to your parents. Okay, you can check with them how information was it easily available to them, or was it so difficult? It was very difficult during then. There were no internet firstly, okay, and it was very expensive. It used to be about 15 rupees half an hour, if I remember, and now it is not like that, isn't it? So every day you get 2 GB, and like you pay 300 rupees for 2 months, and you can easily avail 2 GB every day, isn't it? And 2 GB for the entire day is sufficient, right? Likewise, initially information was something very very valuable. To get one particular information, we should have waited for such a long time. Now your results will be uploaded instantly on the internet, on the college website. But during our generation, we had to wait. Sometimes newspaper would announce, yes, your results are out. You have to go to the college and find out. Sometimes there used to be websites given to us, for which those websites, when we just log into those websites, takes such a long to download our register numbers, and by the time we get, it would take such a long time. But now it is not the same. Information is very handy and very easily available, and media is giving us so much of information about various things and aspects, and we are becoming more knowledgeable day by day. With the available information that is being given to us by various mediums, we need to make use of it in a best way and a better way, not misuse the information, right? With this, we'll move on to the next topic in the next class. So, today I hope you all understood the various sources of human resource capital and what do you mean the concept of human resource and the difference between the human capital and the physical capital, and how human capital work on with the available physical capital to bring out the best outcome out of it. All right, girls, with this I will conclude, and any doubts you can reach to me. All right, girls, take care. Have a nice day.